the project next year, and they are all like professional audiobook readers. So what comes next?
Let me see. Oh, the next program is a presentation of a research paper done by grade 9.
What's the research about?
Yes, it's about our school life.
It's a research about our school life. Do they do a research about what course is their favorite one?
No, that answer is for sure. Our favorite course is definitely any course without homework.
So just tell me the topic of the research.
Alright, the next program is a research paper done by grade 9.
Supervised by teacher Lily. Research done by Amy Han, Ethan Huang, and Sammy Xu.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about the influence of attending preschool on students. Take the 8th graders in Eine Lie Junior High School, for example. I'm Amy.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Sammy. Our presentation will divide into 5 parts. First is introduction, second is literature review, the third is methodology, fourth is discussion, and the fifth is conclusion and suggestions. Chapter 1 is about the introduction. According to the Ministry of Education, 6 out of 10 middle school students go to Kern School, and 1 in 3 high school students go to Kern School on average. Why are there so many students going to Kern School? This makes us curious and want to find out the reason. There are 2 major questions. First is what is the influence of Kern School on students' grades? Second is what is the impact on students' mentality? In today's presentation, we are going to show you all these questions. Let's welcome our marvelous Amy. Let's take a look at Chapter 2, Literature Review. This chapter is divided into 4 sections. First, definition and development of cram schools, and efficiency, reasons and motivations, and pros and cons of going to cram schools. First, let me introduce the definition and development of cram schools. According to Supplementary Education Act Article 6, certain tutorial education may be provided by schools, government organizations, foundations, and private parties. There are roughly 3 types of cram schools. First, one-on-one tutoring. Its efficiency is the best, but also the most expensive. Second, cram schools for less than 30 students. Most cram schools are like this type. And third, cram school for more than 30 people. It is similar to school, but individual differences cannot be taken into account. In this research, we focus on the cram schools for less than 30 people. According to the report to the Shortened Tutorial Center Management System, you can see in this figure, the number of cram schools in Taiwan has increased 45 times in the past 30 years. It said that those who can study effectively in school can also be effective in cram schools. In their study, students who spend 8.4 to 8.9 hours per week in cram schools have the best learning performance. Besides, students who go to cram schools in senior high school only, the efficiency works best. for the reasons and motivation of going to cram schools vary as follows. There are 4 reasons below. First one, peer effect. Peer effect refers to the influence exerted by peers. It encourages a person to change his attitude and behavior. When most classmates go to cram schools, students will be influenced and go to cram schools too. Second, expectation from parents. How to get their children a good education is an important goal of parents. They believe that through going to cram schools, their children can improve their grades in order to obtain high economy and a higher level of social status in the future. Third, myths about cram schools. Most people think as long as they go to cram school, they will get a better grade. The last one, self-expectation. Student attitude is the key to the effective learning. Some students broadly learning independently. They go to cram schools in order to improve their own learning effectiveness. In jump study, going to cram schools moderately can lead to progress in grades and also alleviate students' melancholy tendencies. And also, short weekly tutoring time can bring children a higher level of happiness. Besides, students who go to cram schools at 8th grade, they will feel the most stress. On the other hand, there are some negative effects of going to cram schools. For example, the lack of time with family. Students have much less time with their family because they spend their most time in cram schools. As a result of that, it will alienate students from their parents and even cause disagreement. Second, hindering the remediation plan of school teachers. Students may spend school class time doing cram school homework, so they cannot focus on the school courses. The last one, lack of independent learning ability of children. Cram schools teachers like to invent some tips for students to remember. It will make them not think about why this method is used and what the question really wants to ask, just want to find the answer. Next, let's look at chapter 3, methodology. This chapter is divided into 3 sections: research design, research subject, and research instrument. The method to carry out the research question was using quantitative questionnaires, and they were randomly distributed by students. Our research subject were the 8th grade students in Navy Junior High School, and 32 daily questionnaires were collected, including 20 boys and 12 girls. Research instruments refer to the tools used to collect and record the research materials to answer the research question. Our research instruments were the Valley questionnaires. Its design divided into 4 parts, using information of respondents and their motivation, effectiveness, and psychological impact of going to cram schools. Lastly, our data analysis was using Microsoft Excel and presented as percentages and charts. Next, let's welcome our extraordinary Ethan to continue chapter 4.
Chapter 4, discussion. In this chapter, I'm going to talk about the motivation of going to cram school, the effectiveness of going to cram school, and the psychological impact of going to cram school. From this chart, it's a simple formulation of the fact that external motivation is higher than internal motivation. So students go to cram school more because of external motivation. this chart, we can see that the male students' external and internal motivation have the same amount. And this chart, we can see that female students' external motivation is higher than internal motivation. In this table, we can see that more than half of the students go to private school because of their parents' request. And parents can tutor them, and parents tutoring causes quarrels between them. And only some go to private school because of their own peace of mind. Next, in this chart, we can see that 88% of the students go to private school for math, which is the highest of all, followed by science, English, Chinese, and social studies. In this chart is the effectiveness of going to private school. We can see that the positive effectiveness is higher than the negative, so going to private school is a good thing. In this chart, we can see that 75% of the students go to private school say that it is helpful for their scores, and some say that they can understand after going to private school. And only 9% say that it lowers their willingness of listening in classes. So the general effectiveness is good. From this chart, we can see that if students take more than 3 subjects, they will have better effectiveness. While if students only take 1, the effectiveness will be lower. In this table, we can see that 17 participants started to go to private school during elementary school, and 11 started to go to private school during grade 7, and only 4 started in grade 8. In this figure, we can see that a better positive effectiveness can be achieved if students started to go to private school during grade 7, while if students started in elementary school or grade 8, the effectiveness will be lower. In this chart, we can see that the psychological impact on students, the positive is higher than the negative, so it's also good for students to go there. In this chart, we can see that a lot of students think that it reduces their leisure time and family time. And when it comes to family relationships, it also reduces the conflicts between parent and child. And only 9% and 6% of the students say that if they didn't go to parent school, they would feel anxious. In this table, we can see that most students go to parent school have 2 subjects. And the negative psychological impact. If students have 4 or above, they would have a higher negative impact. So considering the psychological impact, it's not the more the better. In this chart, we can see that the grade 8ers have the highest negative, and while grade 7 has the highest positive. So in general, going to private school during grade 7 is the best time. And next, let's welcome fabulous Amy.
Good comes our final chapter. Chapter 5, Conclusion and Suggestion. The main purpose of this research is to understand the influence on grades and mentality of students who go to school. We find out that most external motivation is the main reason students go to school. And the percentage of females are more than males. Furthermore, parent class is a major reason students go to school. And about the study time, we find out the best time students should start going to school is on grade 7. Grade 8 will be the worst. More than half of participants agree that they feel stressed when dealing with both schoolwork and school. They also agree that going to school decreases their free time, family time, and conflict. It's also noteworthy to know only 6% of the participants would feel anxious if they didn't go to school. About the effectiveness of learning, we find out learning more subjects bring positive effects. However, for the mental impact, learning more subjects leads to negative effects. Here comes our suggestion. We suggest students to go to school at grade 7. And students with higher score should focus on 1 or 2 subjects they are not good at. But for the students with lower score, they should study all subjects. For the students with higher stress resistance, they should study more subjects. For the students with lower stress resistance, should study fewer subjects. Here are some suggestions for future researchers. Motivation, attending time, and number of subjects are factors that influence the mentality and learning effectiveness for students. We suggest them to explore the reasons behind these factors and how they impact students. Here comes our end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.